bringing you the news and information you need from the people making a difference. This is Comcast Newsmakers.
Hello and thank you for joining us. I'm Lisa Aprati and this is Comcast Newsmakers coming to you from the State Capitol building in Springfield. This hour's newsmaker is André Thapedi, State Representative for the 32nd District, and today we'll be talking about foreclosures. It's great to have you on the program.
Thank you so much for having me.
And congratulations, I know you're newly elected to the 32nd District and have been a real estate lawyer for 12 years, so you definitely have the background. And just a position that you're so grateful to be elected to.
I am. Every day when I come to work, it's just an awe-inspiring experience. It just feels so good to be here in the Capitol, working for people, and using those talents that I have to try to help people in the best of my ability.
Right, and speaking of your talents, being a real estate lawyer for 12 years, obviously you've seen everything that's been taking place with the foreclosures. Obviously something that a lot of decisions and that really need to be made regarding foreclosures and so many people losing their homes. Tell me about the first bill, this first piece of legislation that actually was passed out of the House.
Well, you know, that was one thing that I knew that I wanted to focus on in my first term. Being a real estate lawyer, I mean, everyone knows the statistics.
Yes.
I mean, the foreclosure rate in the state of Illinois, more specifically in Cook County, is exponential. So what we did was that we looked at the judicial foreclosure procedure. How is the procedure actually crafted?
Okay.
And we found a scenario in which procedure is not consistent with what the intent of the legislature is. What I mean by that, Lisa, is that when a person is losing their home and there's a foreclosure, it comes a time in which the court is finally ready to drop the hammer and say, that's it.
Right.
It's called confirmation of the sale. Now, if a homeowner wants to object to the confirmation of the sale, there are 4 bases in which that homeowner can do that. A homeowner can argue that they never received notice of the sale. Pretty straightforward. They can argue that the terms of the sale were somehow unconscionable. They could thirdly argue that fraud occurred during the sales process. Or lastly, a catch-all that justice was otherwise not done. So those are the 4 bases or the 4 arguments that a homeowner can make to try to save their home. The catch is, to argue lack of notice, you have to purchase a bond or a guarantee equal to the amount of your home. So say, for an example, you're losing and it's $150,000 and that's the successful bid.
Right.
Before you can argue that you didn't receive notice of the sale, you have to get a guarantee or a bond worth $150,000. If you're being
what sense does that make?
It makes none. And it's an anomaly in the law, and that's what we did. We corrected that.
Okay.
It flew out of the House. It was my first bill. I believe it was 116 to 0. It went now in the Senate. It flew through the committee there as well, and I expect that it will be on the Senate floor shortly for a final vote, and then it will go to the governor for him to sign that into law. So that's going to help people across the board.
And this is all through experience. If it wasn't for the fact that you were arguing these cases, you would have never known that.
Exactly.
That's amazing. And then you also have another bill that's in the Senate. It's 2513. And that's actually something for individuals to work out some type of a plan with the bank regarding foreclosure.
Exactly. That 2513 is actually now signed into law. Governor Quinn signed it, maybe about a month ago.
Okay.
It is going to help people across the board. And I encourage all of the viewers, please, if you're in a scenario in which you're being foreclosed on, the banks now have a moratorium, if you will, on filing foreclosure actions. They have to work with you.
Right.
Use that opportunity to save your home, or at least at a bare minimum, give yourself a fighting chance to figure out what you want to do next. So the way that the law is crafted is that you then reach out to a HUD-approved counselor.
Okay.
The HUD-approved counselor will sit down with you and will come up with different strategies as to how you can stay in your home.
And they can find out all that information by the number that was on the screen. So I'm so sorry, we've actually run out of time, but I wish you the best with this, and it sounds like extremely good legislation.
Well,
thank you so much. And thank you for joining us on this edition of Comcast Newsmakers.
Preceding was a presentation of Comcast Newsmakers. Now, back to headline news.